Good day, C3 parents, and welcome back to Parenting the Parent. And we are kicking off week 3 and looking back on week 2. If it's your first time here, please hit that like button, subscribe, do all the YouTubey things. And sorry for that echo. I just had to make sure that I've got everything. I forgot to mute stuff. Brilliant. Anyway, let's roll the intro and let's get started on the week that passed and the week that lies ahead. As you can see, beautiful people, I don't wheeze as much, I don't cough as much. We kind of figured out what's going on with my health. And that's a story for a different day that I will gladly share with you. But yes, let's dive into this week that passed. It's been a bit of a tough week. Delving a little bit in spaces and places within our emotional health that we not necessarily were comfortable with. And also thinking about reasons why we do things the way that we do. And one of the interesting things that really popped up with one of the conversations that I had with one of the C3 parents was that while they're busy doing this inner work with this challenge, something just kind of pops up, like how important it is for themselves to do the switch of the label, like moving from a negative label to a positive label when we talk about ourselves and when we think about ourselves. And here's the thing, and I think that's the cardinal thing when it comes to gentle parenting, especially if you come from a punitive parenting household. You're actively trying to break cycles. You're actively trying to parent your child in a more gentle, compassionate, human-worthy way, basically recognizing their humanity, but also recognizing your humanity. But a lot of times, the gentle parenting landscape is a lot of times focused on problem solving the situation with the child, trying to understand why the child is behaving in a specific way or in a certain way, and how we need to react. And therefore, it is so easy for us to reach a point where we feel like we fail at the gentle parenting thing. We have bad parenting days. We have days where we just get it wrong, or we just really struggle to find that gentleness and that peace and that kindness and that grace within ourselves for our children. And the reason we struggle with this is because we're trying to do things that we were never taught how to do. And just like a baby has to waddle and fall and crawl and babble and then start forming sentences and grow into certain skill sets, the same way you as a parent need to grow into certain skill sets. And part of that means the stumbling and the falling. But here's the difference, where babies don't even actively realize their brain is reassessing the route that it took, where the mistake happened, and try to fix that mistake. We are old enough to know that when I stumble, when I fall, something went wrong and we need to assess. And that is where parenting the parent comes in, that assessment, that going back to the script, going back to the basics of where does this come from? Where does this guilt come from? Where does this rule come from? Where does this way of thinking about myself and thinking about children come from? Where does my world view on how I view the role and responsibilities and abilities of children come from? My expectations? Where does it come from? And if we start parenting in that way, where we really work with this and we really work through it, we finally get to the root. We finally get to where we've learned it and how to unlearn it, so that when we unlearn it, when our children behaves in a certain way, it won't trigger us. It won't move us to a point where we snap or where we get angry, but will move us to a point of grace and compassion. But just like a baby and just like a toddler, you're going to make mistakes. And so often we're so hard on ourselves, and I'm guilty. I'm so guilty for that. We are so hard on ourselves that we cannot be everything at all times for our children and for our partners and for the people that we love. Then we get so frustrated in our brokenness as human beings, our ability to make mistakes. We get so stuck in the mistake that we view ourselves then all of a sudden as bad. Insert parent, spouse, partner, friend, colleague, worker. We always often, and for me in the space, because I'm working in the parenting coaching space, I have said to clients before, you're a good parent because you question whether you are a good parent, because most parents don't even question, they just assume that they're good parents. In the meantime, they might be exercising choices or doing things that is devastatingly harmful to their kids. So the mere fact that you question whether you're a good parent or not is a good starting point. But it can become a platitude if you stop actively assessing where I need to heal as an adult. Where is that hurt, that child crying out for acceptance? Where is that hurt? This week has been tough for me, not just on the parenting side, the parent side, but I'm actively unlearning and working on unlearning certain things from my childhood or from what I've been taught as a child, especially about the role and responsibilities for a woman in the household. It has really been tough because, guys, while I'm busy challenging you, I'm doing the work as well. And due to our life changes, I have been confronted with stuff that I haven't dealt with. And just adding that extra weight, I have entered basically the last week of my brother's life. He passed away 2 years ago, and this week is emotionally tough on me because I never really allowed myself to mourn. So, like, I do it in little sections. And truth pop, I'm mourning again. I'm a bit all over the show while unpacking the hurt of my childhood. So it's been tough. That guilt that we feel, that I felt, or that I feel about doing things in a certain way, the need to take breaks, the need to give myself permission to take breaks, all those things boils back down to what I was taught in the first 13 years of my life of what is my space that I'm allowed to occupy as a human being, as a child, and as an adult, and that expectations. If your children are under the age of 13, you're in the golden space where you can have the opportunity to help them grow with the understanding that they belong, they matter, that they're allowed to take up space no matter how big they are. Sometimes we do mess that up. Some of you have kids that's older than 13 and have only discovered the gentle parenting journey when your kid was already a teenager. Here's the thing. Something that very few people blatantly speak out loud. Part of parenting the parent bit isn't just getting a cognizant understanding of what kind of parent I needed growing up to be that parent for myself, but also to be the parent my children needs to parent, because my children is not me. But it's also understanding that because we're healing, growing, and learning through the process of parenting and confronting things that we never realized we had to confront, that we're going to reach a point in our life where we're going to have to take accountability as well. That we will be comfortable enough to look our kids in the eyes when they come to us and say, hey, you messed up here. And us being able to take the punch and say, yeah, I think I did. I'm sorry. Whether that was their experience, whether that was your intention or not. Because we intend, as gentle parents, we intend to raise our kids gently and kindly and with love and respect. Sometimes we are just not gentle. Which means chances are when your children are older, teenagers and older than teenagers, that they're going to come to you and say, hey, you know what? Here and here and here, you messed up and I need to heal from that. And you need to be able to go and say, yeah, I messed up, I'm sorry. Without justification, without explanation, without making them feel like they have to apologize to you for confronting you with their hurt. The same way that you would want to be able to confront someone else who's hurt you in the past without them justifying why they did what they did. You are doing the best job you know how to do. You are going to make mistakes. You are human. You are healing because you're putting in the work. Keep going, keep working, keep pushing. We're doing it this year. This month was a very strong kickoff and a very strong start. After this, it's maintenance, checking in, looking at different things. So if you haven't joined the Patreon, I'll put the Patreon link down below in the description. Join the Patreon. We're going to work. This is the year that we are going to work at least starting to heal the inner child, to start healing and moving forward in a healthy way, in a mentally stable and healthy way. Replay crew, I love you. Hashtag replay. If you have any questions about what we're discussing, if you have anything that you would like to share, you're welcome to drop a comment in the comment section. And I'll see you guys on the YouTube channel for the live next week, Wednesday. Otherwise, follow on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. Yes, almost everywhere I'm uploading this for you to have access to the challenge, to have access to be able to do the work that you need to do. And obviously the shorts will be on YouTube as well. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.